One of the Democrats aiming to go up against Lauren Boebert in the general election has released an ad that was filmed at the site of one of her most notorious scandals. Take a look.
I'm sitting in the very same seat that Lauren Boebert got kicked out of, the same way that she got kicked out of Colorado's 3rd Congressional District. So why has she decided to drop out of her race and run here in the 4th? Well, it's not out of a love for us and our communities. It's not because she wants to fight for us in Washington. She's made that clear. It's just because she thinks she has a better chance of winning. That's it. She's using us for her own personal political gains. But this shouldn't come as a surprise. It sure as hell doesn't shock me. She has shown us time and time and time again who she is. We need a leader who cares about us, who knows our communities, our struggles, and will fight for us in Washington.
So that is Democrat John Padora, and bear in mind, he's not the Democratic nominee yet in the same way that Lauren Boebert is not the Republican nominee, but that is coming very, very soon. And so if he's the guy, does this ad, Francesca, make you think that he might be the one that could successfully take her on?
Yeah, I mean, he's stooping to her level because she's so low, and you have to call it out. That's hilarious. Like, I hope he did a little just like wipe down, a little Purell situation, a little spray of that 4th or whatever seat that was in. Yeah, no, I don't think Febreze will get it, but sort of Lysol spray. But
the video will continue in just a moment, but first I have a message for you. TYT needs your help. Membership is vital to survival, so please go to tyt.com/team and become a member today.
But like, you need someone who's like that. It can't just be like when they go low, you go high. It's like, no, go low. Show voters what she's about. And I think it's good that he's getting ahead of it now, because if he is the Democratic nominee and she is the Republican nominee, then he's already like prime. He's like saying, I'm ready for that. And like, if you're in Colorado's 4th district and you're like, man, Boebert's coming over here, you're gonna want a fighter. You're gonna want someone to represent you if you actually think she is full of it and obviously doesn't do anything to speak to your needs or your interests.
Yeah, I would say, look, I like that it's the sort of ad that's gonna draw attention. I mean, it drew my attention. I do think I prefer that later on in it, he highlights some of her sort of like more corruption focused scandals, like about her seeming to misappropriate funds that aren't supposed to be used for personal use, those sorts of things. I also think, considering that like the focus of it is, hey, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna sit right in the same chair, remind everyone what you did. Other than that, it was not a particularly aggressive ad. Like the delivery was fairly restrained. I thought that was interesting. But apparently, I wanna turn to her because she's apparently been having a hard time and she's had to be a little bit restrained in how she's been communicating with her own voters. According to the New York Times' Michelle Cottle, she's apparently been running herself ragged, crisscrossing the new district. And apparently her appearances have turnout for them has numbered in the dozens. She's toned down the fiery rhetoric that apparently turned off a lot of supporters. So she still does some of her, like what is supposed to be applause lines, although as Cottle says, they don't often get applause anymore. Like jokes about Biden and jokes about woke and jokes about China and everything. She says, one of the surprises during my time with Miss Boebert was how many awkward or uncertain moments she seemed to have at voter events in debates, or simply standing unnoticed in a crowd. In unguarded moments, she looks reserved and tentative. She has a tendency to nervously smooth down her long hair and seems braced for someone to say something mean. She can easily get lost in a crowd. So she has certainly been attacked a lot. Apparently that is having an effect. The issue for the district might be that so far, the polling shows that she might well not get lost in the crowd. There's still a lot of uncertainty in the vote. She could lose, and by the way, the primary is tomorrow, so we'll know by Wednesday whether she'll be the Republican nominee. But as of right now, she still has the single best chance of winning that primary. And so attacks aside, she may still have a political career, but we'll transition to the general election soon enough. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?